Hey, good morning, y'all. So I just wanted to show y'all something. A fellow in the group had posted asking about how to properly trim a fruit tree for more production out of their fruit tree. And I gave him some advice, and someone was like, don't do what Chase said. You'll kill that tree, you'll put it in shock. Well, guys, trees are looking pretty damn good if you ask me. This tree right here, I easily, if you looked at the pruning video, knocked off 6 or 7 feet off of that damn tree. Show you some other stuff real quick, just to show you guys. So you can clear a tree, about 30% of a tree you could take away from that tree without doing any kind of long-term damage. This poplar here and that poplar there, looking great. And I took over 8 feet off of those because I didn't want them shading out this fruit tree. Now here we go, a little bit further down out here. So this one here, excuse it, we haven't got down here to weed all this yet. But if you see down there, that's a sycamore, okay? I've lobbed this dude off right there at that point 2 years in a row because I didn't want it to overshadow these fruit trees. Now look at it. I'm letting it go now. The fruit trees are established, okay? But yes, you can shock trees if you trim them at the wrong time of the year, absolutely. But if you maintain less than 30% removal on your trees are going to thrive. They're going to be fine. Don't be scared. Like I say though, when you do a big cut, you definitely want some wound coat. The wound coat has now gone off of these, but there's no sap. It's dry, it's healed. Same with this dude here. And this one was some big cuts, guys. Big cuts. Tree's thriving, tree's doing good. That's the key. The key is doing good, smart pruning to establish the limbs that you want as your scaffolding limbs that will hold the weight of your fruit once your fruit comes on. So listen, I say all that to say, I'm not a guru. I didn't go to arborist school. I've done a lot of research and I've done a lot of experimenting. So if I give advice, it's because I've done it myself and it has worked for me. I think a lot of people struggle with the concept that there's more than one way to skin a cat. That's an old saying. Obviously, I'm not skinning a cat, but there's multiple ways to do things. And people really, really struggle with that for some reason. And see, I'm a person that loves to learn. I love to share the things that I've learned throughout my lifetime, but I also love to learn. So I am not closed-minded to someone else may know another way or more efficient way, a better way to do things. But at the end of the day, I know what's worked for me. And until someone presents me with a better way to do something, I'm going to continue to do the things that work for me. However, if someone says, hey, do this, do that, I've done this and it's worked, I'm not afraid to try someone else's way. And so in this modern world where everybody thinks they got to be nasty online, try to be better, do better. You know, don't come on someone's page or, you know, on their video and just trash talking them because you've never tried it that way. You don't know if it's going to work if you've never done it. Your way may be successful, and that's great. Another way to approach a situation would be, I've done it this way, and this way has been successful for my family. And that's generally what I do in my videos when I give advice. I say, hey, I'm not a doctor or I'm not a financial planner or any of these things. I'm not a plumber. As you've all seen, that plumbing video was really just bad. But I got the job done, right? And so if someone asks me for advice or if I put out advice, it's advice that I have learned through experience and through doing things. I'm not just going to, regurgitate something I've read if I haven't actually tried it myself and know it works. So I just wanted to do a quick little video to show you guys the fruit trees are looking great. I'm excited. And yes, you can heavily prune your trees, even established trees, and they will live just fine, y'all. The key is not more than 30%. And also wound coat wherever you make big cuts to keep the tree from getting sick. That's really it. So we did some serious cutting on this tree a few years back. It's a volunteer tree, which I love those. And we actually transplanted it up here by the road because at one point there was a massive one here And the people that lived here and grew up here for generations used to be under it during their bus stop time. So we did some major trimming because obviously we like to see when we come out of our driveway, and we don't want it to shade out our fruit trees. We've done this several times over the years, and as you can see, this tree is thriving. It's doing great. This tree is only 4 years old, y'all. 4 years old. And I have just chopped away at it. You would think you're gonna kill it because that's what we're, led to think. Plants are so fragile and you gotta take your time and you gotta be careful with them. But what we don't think about is the fact that Mother Nature's kind of hard on its plants, right? People are talking about leggy greenhouse plants or plants that got weak and didn't do well and fell over and died. Well, Mother Nature has a way of making those things strong, and it's usually the springtime breezes because everything's not leaved out yet and the breezes are able to blow. So how do we as people kind of mimic that? And for us, when we're starting seedlings, we use an oscillating fan. Our friend Aspen told us about that, and we've done it ever since. It hardens them off, it makes them stronger. The same with these plants that are outside. Nature's not going to give these guys a break. She's going to be nature. She's going to be her full wrath. And these plants are going to thrive in that, and that is fine. So stop being scared to experiment. Like my buddy Dirk says, there are no failures, only experiments. And I've done a lot of experimenting, and I've learned tough lessons from trying things. So I do like every awesome old timer I know, and I try to keep others from experiencing those mistakes and those failures by sharing advice and experience that I've gathered over my lifetime and through experiments. Anyhow, y'all, enough rambling. Until next time, keep dreaming.